This will all be about Purim and Esther. And as obvious, I've reached a new stage in my development. And one of the things that I've recognized is that Esther is Lilith. Lilith is Esther. Lilith is the first wife of Adam, remember? But here, Lilith is Esther. And I'm going to show you how. That Lilith, spelt out in full, is 594. That's full lamed yud, full lamed yud, full lamed, full tov. It's 594 plus 5 letters, 5 root letters, and 1 for all. That's 600. And that 600 is the Tov Resh of Esther. That's 600. And then, because there are all reversals in Judaism, in Purim, it's the whole holiday of reversals, what we do is we take the Aleph Samech, which really means Ein Sof, and we reverse it into Samech Aleph. So if we get Samech Aleph, that's Sitra Akra. Sitra Akra is 480 in its gematria. That happens to relate exactly to the regular gematria of Lilith, 480. Lamed, 30, Yud, 10, that's 40, another 40, that's 80, and then 400. So I've shown here how Lilith relates to Esther. Lilith is Esther. Esther is Lilith. Now, from that basis, that was the idea here. You see, the way I spell, remember that Michael is my my angel. Michael, and very often I spell Michael with a final mem to start. You see, especially in the next worlds, it's going to be with the start of a final mem. When that occurs, you have 600 and 61 for Michael. Of course, the final mem is 600. So the gematria becomes 661. 661 is Esther. So there's even talk that I think that they say it comes down that Mordechai was Michael. And this is a complete link here. You see, Mordechai equals Esther. Michael equals Esther. And Mordecai was Esther. And Michael could have been Esther, being exact. Or some relation. How would I know? Now from that, see, I did some other things of, this is all for Purim, remember? I did some other things. You know, my symbol relates to that. That's why my symbol is Michael as 101 or 661. Final mem is 600, and then Samek Aleph. So you see that I have my symbol. It can be Esther also as 661. And I have it related to Lilith now. But some pure gematria is the full extension. My new thing is that, in fact, I may end it here. I'm going to end that there and bring up in another video showing how to measure out here. Oh, what the hell. Lilith as the mother of Set. Because the expansion of Lilith, I don't know if it's called front expansion, back expansion. I do it from the first letter here on this particular one. Comes out to be 700, and that's the number of Set. Remember that Adam separated from Eve for 130 years, and after Hevel died, and they had and he produced demons. But it's funny that Lilith should have the number of the name Shet. So I feel that there was a connection here between Shet and Lilith. I'm going to show you a very deep thing for the Shema, the full expansion of Lilith. Now, how could Lilith be this evil being if this full expansion is really true, which it is? The full expansion is the expansion I gave from the first letter, but now as a full expansion, rather than just Lamed being 30, it's now Lamed being 74. This full expansion, as one can see here, it's Lamed and Lamed Yud and Lamed Yud, Lamed, that's the full expansion. It comes out to be 1,118. 1,118 is the Shema. It's the gematria of the Shema. The Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, comes out to be 1,118. The other beautiful thing about that, 1,118, is it's the two names of Yud He Vav He in its four expansions of 72, 63, 45, and 52, plus Elohim in its three expansions of 300, 295, and 291. So it's, for the Elohim, it's 886, and for the Yud He Vav He, it's 232, and that comes out to be 1,118, which is the exact gematria of the Shema, but it's also the expansion of Lilith. Lilith has a relationship to the Shema. Lilith has a relationship to Set. Lilith has a relationship to Mikael. No, Esther has a relationship to Mikael. But I'm saying that Esther is Lilith. And this all relates to my symbol. And these are just entries into Purim. You see? And the Megillah Esther. And the relationship between Esther and Mordechai Because Mordechai is Michael. And what does all this mean? And that's what remains to be seen. How does this that Esther is Lilith? And what does that mean as far as women goes? And this is how one's individual soul has to manifest in this area. See? Because you bring your consciousness into this area. So you tell me how it is for you. I'm not going to tell you how it is for my level of soul. But I can tell you there's a couple things here that you never heard. You never heard that there's a relationship between Lilith and Set. You never heard that the gematria of Lilith, fully spelt out in the expansion, is 1,118, and the Shema, which is the holiest thing in Judaism. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 6 words. Bereshit. Created 6. So this is how going to open up now into Purim.